that's the game you want to play, the rate just went up 10%.
Mister, if you're trying to make extortion on us because we're immigrants, we know the law.
I'm extorting you because you were breaking the law. Now, which charge would you like to be arrested for? Drugs, kidnapping, prostitution? Take your pick. You come to this country, take advantage of the system, and think because we are tolerant, we are weak and helpless. Your arrogance offends me. And for that, the rate just went up 10%. Now, you want to get down to business, or do you want to keep playing?
Slop it around the bucket or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that a saying?
Yeah, I mean, it is now. I mean, I don't know. No, I don't think it is. I think you just kind of invented it.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm just gonna slop it around the bucket a little bit. Yeah, it sounds like a really awkward. It's one of those awkward sex terms that you look up in Urban Dictionary, something like that.
Oh yeah.
How many
different, jelly donut?
Yeah, all that shit. It's right
or
up there.
munging.
I don't even remember that one, but I'm definitely not looking it up. Oh, you already put me on the path.
Yeah. You dig up the body, and then you put your lips against the lips that are not in her mouth, and then someone else stomps on the corpse's stomach, and all the maggots come out and into your mouth.
On.
Wow, was that what that was?
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't remember that.
That was from one of the letters I got. And it was like, and they engaged in munging, and I was like,
holy,
what's munging? And I like look it up on my work computer. I'm like, oh god, no, get out of here. We're leaving the site now.
There's 100% chance no one's ever engaged in that.
100% chance. Yeah, there's no way anyone's ever done that. Like, but it's funny. Like, where would the word come from? And like, is it a movie reference or something? Like, do we have to make this movie? Munging.
You'd go to jail also if you did that.
Oh, for like digging up a corpse? It would have to be a fresh corpse too. Like, you're probably better off at like
moderately fresh. Yeah. You need to get the maggots.
What's moderately fresh?
Oh, the maggots. You're right. Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah. I think it needs to be specially prepared for the mung. Because there's probably not a lot of maggots actually inside. They're more of an outside thing, aren't they?
I mean, like. You got weeks, I'd say, before things go really sideways.
That's what I mean, moderately. Like,
yeah. You don't want to excessively, because you want them to be resembling human, I guess, if you're gonna like.
Well, their stomach has to survive a stomp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I gotta have some intact. Yeah, I gotta have. But I mean, like, geez, I don't know.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work for something. This is why no one's ever done it. And it's kind of like, I don't know.
It's too much fucking work.
Yeah, hopefully no one hears this like it becomes their Mount Everest for them. Why did you do it, man? Because it was there. We don't need that.
Well, I mean.
No. No, we don't need that.
They expect us to go down this rabbit hole, which all of a sudden makes this movie seem much
you
more
slap it around the
benign.
bucket a little bit, and
that's right.
The price you pay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I didn't have a selling point for it, so I mean that's a good thing at least.
Yeah. So, what's in the news, guys? I read about a guy who tried to rescue his daughter from sex traffickers. Ended up just killing a developmentally disabled guy. I guess
No, but I mean, did he try? Did he succeed?
I honestly, because like the news story that you shared with us,
and not very good, which is NBC.
Yeah, well, I looked around like
for a fucking toilet bowl article.
It's the same article everywhere though. Like it's just getting passed around, slopped around the bucket, as it were. And
then who's the guy in the picture? Is that the dad or is that the slow boyfriend that got bashed in?
That's the boyfriend. It's got to be.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's funny though. I didn't read the caption underneath. I'm sure it's clear from the article, but my engagement with it was pretty low because I was like, it's not worth it. I'm not going to get what I want out of this. I want like a 5,000 word essay behind the scenes, something about this.
No, this is good. He was a disabled kid, Sorensen's father, Randy, said in a brief telephone interview.
Yeah, that
he didn't have the capacity. Yeah, he didn't have the capability to sex traffic anybody. I think at the end it says his mom said he had an IQ of 81. Our son had an IQ of 81.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's some reference to him like having a hard time just getting through life day to day. Like, there's no way.
Yeah,
way.
but
I mean,
okay.
Like, so he does have like. There's like
you're gonna devil's advocate on. I've been curious about your angle on this, so.
Yeah, you know what? You're just taking.
Man, listen, guys. Listen. I grew up way up north. You guys did too. Listen, an IQ of 81 is very common.
You're right. It's
you can go to work, you can get around, Look at his nice bandana he's got in that picture. Fucking rolled that up himself. No worries at all. You think he can't take a little payday? I mean, I don't think he's not seducing any prize fucking hens or anything like that, but I'm sure he could involve himself somehow.
Yeah, if he was the hired muscle, such as it is, but again, like that, the guy, it sounds like just the dad just killed him, and then I wanted to learn more about the dad actually, and like
I'd like to know if he rescued his daughter from sex traffickers and had some kind of like private evidence,
Yeah, it would have to be very private because like that's not on display at the present moment. But like all the articles, like it was something about like it's ongoing legal issues, so they can't talk about it or something like that. Like yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like the dad had a particular set of skills. And anyway, yeah. Listen, but I think that even if you have a hunch. I mean, like a good old fashioned, like killed to save your daughter from sex trafficking. That's a good clean murder. It's On
a hunch. Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
where's his daughter? Like, did she actually get like raped and involved in sex trafficking? I mean, like,
this is a charming opening. This is so charming.
It's good enough for a hunch for me.
Yeah. I guess at some point, the hunch defense. It depends on what state of the union you're in.
The hunch defense.
That's good in Texas,
Listen,
Illinois.
That's good to go in Texas, bro. Rittenhouse is getting off. That's good in Texas. Whatever.
Oh, jeez.
And Rittenhouse is what? Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. It's all some hillbilly state
down there somewhere.
Yeah. Jeez.
Down in the deep south.
So hi everyone.
Yeah.
We watched a little movie called Taken, starring Mr. Liam Neeson, written by Luc Besson, teamed up with the guy who wrote Karate Kid. Brought us this fucking masterpiece.
Is that fucking true?
That's true. This guy, somewhere along the line, Luc Besson, who brought us Fifth Element, Leon the Professional, Lucy, which I've never seen.
I'm gonna throw this up in the air. Those aren't good movies.
Oh man, Leon the Professional's fucking dope. Nikita's a great movie. Fifth Element, you get different mileage on that.
Those are carried by oddball actors. Those are not great
movies.
Films.
I like Fifth.
I disagree on that. Yeah, I like Fifth Element the same as I like fucking Pacific Rim.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
See, that's not fair at all. These aren't. I don't think you're being fair. I mean, like, The Professional's amazing. that's a fun movie.
The actor was great.
Everything about that, like,
generic.
you don't have. Oh, okay. All right. Well, this is a conversation. It's a conversation for another time. So anyway, the creator of fucking Leon the Professional teamed up with the Karate Kid guy who also did Lethal Weapon 3, and they've done all three of these Taken movies. They also did the Transporter series together, and I think they started with Fifth Element. So we might have a second project after this, just falling around these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think you'd come at me that hard about Leon the Professional.
I think you haven't watched it recently. I don't think
I definitely haven't.
Yeah. That is a weird movie. Like Natalie Portman's role in that movie is very uncomfortable. But I think that movie's about something and does some things that you're like. You don't think that Jay Reno, Gary Oldman, and Danny Aiello carried the movie? No, I don't know. What would that even mean? Like what? Why does that make it a bad movie?
I don't know. Is Bram Stoker's Dracula a good movie? No.
Yeah,
Gary
I would say it
Oldman.
is. No, that's a good movie.
It's a monster performance.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but that just makes a good movie gooder. It doesn't make the rest of the movie shit.
That is compelling.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so Taken 2008, big hit, which I was super surprised to discover.
Yeah, it's a monster hit. This was
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and here it goes back to the the random murder in the U.S. is that probably won't air on the beginning of this episode, so I won't get too far into it. But this is a fantasy thing, like a dark man fantasy kind of, I guess.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I totally agree. It's
There's
anyway.
nowhere else to go with that because there's no murder. But this is equivalent. No, there is a murder. Sorry, I guess her friend is both raped, heroin shot up, and brutally murdered, basically, right?
Yeah.
And then it's left to interpretation. I guess you're imagining that his daughter's also had some of the sweet heroin and also been multiple raped along the road.
Oh, no, she's virginal. That's
clean,
what the selling point. Yeah, she's clean.
Yeah.
They probably didn't even dope. No, they doped her up for sure because she was all like.
Yeah, is she though? How did that get established?
When she was at the auction at the end, there was some description of her like, best for last, and this one's pure, not touched, and all that.
Yeah, they make a point.
That they pick certain ones and keep them like whatever, like a fresh product for these creepazoids for the big money.
For the underground Albanian and otherwise generic Arab sex traffickers of Paris.
Yeah, well, they got a little bit Persian at the end.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, you think it's I don't know what the distinction is. Yeah.
Anyway, it's all the same.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
Fuck, dude. So Adam, over to Adam now.
The editing floor is gonna be fucked.
Oh yeah.
So Adam, how did you like this movie?
So I'm gonna start by saying I was very surprised that it was without going into the movie, just sort of knowing a bit about it and remembering when it came out. Very surprised it was PG-13 and on Disney.
Oh yeah, the rating blew me away. You can't let a 13-year-old. You should not let a 13-year-old watch this.
No. Like I had like a lot of movies we watch. I kind of go with some low expectations.
Why?
But quite often is these podcasts will test you. Like I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'll be honest, this movie doesn't have a lot going for it. It is like a kind of like a fantasy. Like Liam Neeson's character, like he doesn't even get touched. The one time he gets like hung up on that pipe or whatever, and it's like maybe 1 minute of like, oh, maybe he's gonna get beat up here, but he's definitely not gonna die. He just kicks ass with the whole movie. It's just like a nice dance the whole time. Don't have to think much. I was really surprised and entertained. I planned on watching this movie over the course of 2 nights, which I did. Split it up half and half. I pretty much watched the entire movie, save 20 minutes, the first night. And I just found it really entertaining. It was kind of like, it was fun to watch. I found there's this campiness or like cheesiness to it where it's like the subject matter doesn't really I can't take it really seriously. Like the fact that his daughter has been kidnapped into like sex trafficking. I couldn't take it all that seriously because there's just this sort of like veneer of like hokiness to it that I kind of like dug and just thought it was like a nice movie to watch and unplug my mind. My wife watched a little bit of it too, Lindsay, and she started asking questions about like plot holes, and I'm like, it's not that kind of movie.
Don't do that. Yeah.
You don't go down.
What? Out of curiosity, though, do you remember like one of her questions? I'm curious.
I can't.
Because this thing's tight as fuck.
Come on.
I think it was going back to like the auction of Liam Neeson's daughter at the end, and she was like, "Well, wouldn't she have been on heroin? Like, how is she functioning? And then, like, when she got home, like, shouldn't she be coming down from heroin, like having withdrawals?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, like that. Like, these are
I did think about that. Yeah, she gets he just gave her that saline solution, like he gave
Oh,
that.
that-
other
Yeah,
chick.
he had a full fucking kit there.
That
No
other girl
worries.
that he just fucking left in that room, by the way, like, what happened to her? It's
Well,
just
Hey
like,
man, listen,
oh,
having
that was a
Liam
special room.
Neeson rescue you from what was that, an industrial mining rape camp?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
yeah.
with basically like like curtains hung up for like laborers to like just
line up
massacre
and-
girls. That's despicable.
Oh,
So he did
fuck.
rescue her from that and then detoxed her. I mean, you're fucking welcome. Like whether
Yeah.
you end up on
yeah,
the
I mean, fair,
streets.
yeah, find your own
Yeah.
way home now.
Didn't
like,
give her 20
Yeah.
bucks to get home. What a bastard. I guess that she is stranded in another like country or whatever. But it was as if now in Neeson's defense, which James, you've ably defended him, but it was a special safe house. Like he showed up at the hotel and he's like, hey buddy, hey old pal from my days being a spy. And he's like, usual room. And so like,
You're going like bowels into the narrative, interpreting
Yeah,
that his friend is a rescuer as well.
or at the very least can contact the consulate of whatever country this woman is from and get her back home.
Hopefully
That's
not
not
the
impo-
police though.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, is it the police? I guess it's the police or is it like state apparatus, like the French spy agency? I gather that's what it is rather than the police. Might be wrong.
Like you mean that have there's no indication that there would literally be anything in it for that spy agency.
To let this happen?
Yeah. You're literally you're letting terrorists into your country. They're doing violent kidnappings, doping up, raping, and murdering young girls and tourists, and you're the French spy agency. Like,
we don't know
and
that
your
they're
only
terrorists.
your only kickback is $20. Like that's the kickback to allow that to happen in your country.
Is it only $20? It was 20%.
No, I mean it's 20%.
Yeah, it's 20%.
Listen, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying cash is a pretty meager kickback to allow that to happen to your countrymen.
That's fair. That's that's. I think this movie. I was in my notes. It says Schlub Dad Rises.
Oh man, I really enjoyed, by the way, the 30-minute build up.
Oh yeah.
To let me know that Liam Neeson was fucking falling on hard times.
Yeah, and he's so kind of pathetic, and he sells it so well.
I didn't have to interpret that this guy was an everyman.
Yeah.
Hard at all.
Forgot.
Like, oh man, this guy's divorced.
Yeah.
His job's shitty. Even his bros don't, you know what I mean, have a hard time. Like everybody forces themselves to hang out with him, and like do like a pity party.
They're trying to woo him over. He's so fucking awesome that they need him to fill out their. I think they're just parasites rather than pitying him. Parasites is a strong word, but they're just like, let's get the team back together. Like maybe it's a pity job, but they clearly need him and they want him to be involved again more. Like he's valuable. But he's sort of abstained from that world. Because he loves his daughter so much. And one thing these movies reveal to me is I don't love my child as much as I ought to. That's clear to me. Like getting back to the male fantasy, like there is those guys, and I just love my kids. Oh, I just love them so much. And that's like this crucifix that they put themselves on. And this movie really, amongst other things, sort of plays with that. Like although I guess Femke is pretty hot. Maybe he's kind of sad about that too.
Oh, could be, yeah. He
fucking
well,
Lenore.
he just basically like he sits himself back in that apartment, quits his job. Mind you, he gives up on that a little bit. Like once he feels like the rich old guy that like whatever peas in Famke's mouth finally buys his daughter a horse. He gets home that night and he's like, "Oh fuck it, boys, I'll take the contract." Yeah,
that's true.
Eventually he's gonna go back to work. He's got to get some of his pride back. Yeah, but you have to. But I think the fact that he's like so emotionally vulnerable, and stupid kind of makes him like, I think that's what makes this whole thing agreeable, where you're like, fuck yeah, buddy, get your win, you know?
Yeah.
That's like sort of a side plot. Like when you watch something like a Law-Abiding Citizen with Gerard Butler, you think to yourself, oh, you know what? He's a super spy. He's a boss. He's a murderer. That's great and everything to watch him like work his magic. But this guy, man, he's getting the fucking low road kicks, but like he's being kicked while he's down by Famke. He's in a bad way. You know, you need this guy to get his win.
Yeah, Famke's a real terrible fucking person to him at the start. Like, just, I don't know, her character was kind of shit. Just always like ripping on him, never giving him a chance. I love the scene when he goes into their place after his daughter goes missing, though, and just sort of like takes control over it. And they're just like, oh, what's going on now? And you can just tell like he's dominating the movie from that point. It was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's a weird scene because it's like, Kim's been taken, and they're just like, oh, you know,
yeah,
like,
they're like, oh, okay, now like you tell us what's up, and like all of a sudden, all this faith in him, and yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, we don't have time to measure dicks. You know, you're just like, no, that's exactly what you're doing. You just took your dick out in front of them, and everyone's like, they're just looking at your big swinging dick, you know, and but as he rifles through his daughter's panty drawer I'm not sure why that happened, actually, as a matter of fact. Like, did he get a clue from doing that? I guess he was maybe figuring out what the location of the place that they were going.
Yeah, I think he was looking for like a private journal or something.
Yeah, some sort of, anyway, not clear in that moment. Not sure why the spy needed to go through daughter's panty drawers.
Well, you know what? Like, he was in control of that scene. It was important that he went wherever he went.
That's true. I guess it's part of him just like taking, yeah, like literally taking control of like absolutely everything. Like, and the worst part is that, you know, so he's schlub dad, but like he like, this is part of the fantasy as well. He's deeply paranoid and right about the fact that you should be paranoid. And that, you know, there's strangers and I know what the world's like, you know, and Schlub Dad normally only knows those things from the internet and TV. But this movie gives the main character Schlub Dad CIA background, you know, so.
Right. So Schlub Dad knows that your paranoid fantasies are true. He's seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
And you can rest assured. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just gives authority to all of the worst Schlub Dad instincts, and then sort of activates him and makes him right. And his only mistake is signing the papers out of love for his daughter, because he didn't want to. He was like, this is no good, and all the warning signs were there, but he didn't listen to them. And it's sort of like a movie about his failure to protect his daughter.
Because he was right all along.
He was right all along, man.
Yeah.
You're going to be taken.
You know, that leads right to Albanians.
It does. All roads lead to Albany.
Wait, I was going to say, where is it? Sarajevo, did you say?
No, Albania. I guess it's, why is it Sarajevo? Yeah, that makes sense.
Is it near Sarajevo?
Adam? Is there an Albania out there?
Yeah, Albania is a country.
There we go.
Is it? Where?
Yeah.
Sarajevo is a town.
Yeah. I have facts from Sarajevo. Yeah. No, we actually know it. Yeah, I was just dicking around. Yeah, that's not a real. Yeah, Albania, man. So I was gonna talk about how this is fucking Christ. So I think that one of the reasons that this movie appealed to Americans as well as European audiences is because, like, it's, you know, it's tying into all of this talk, you know, it's a movie about barbarians at the gate. You know, it's a movie about the foreigners who are coming in and, you know, setting up rape camps for our daughters, you know, right under our noses in construction yards where these people work their jobs that they've taken from us. All under the complicity of the state, you know, like this movie goes out of its way to show that rich people are fucking evil pedophiles. You know, it's like a Todd McFarlane story.
Right back to Trump again.
Yeah. And that the immigrants are coming, you know, and big money's behind them and stuff like that. It's all part of the same sort of classic trope about the foreigner coming in and raping your daughter, but it's given like sort of a larger political valence.
Yeah, well, because then the big money gets to specifically rape your daughter, but everybody else also gets raped by the immigrants and job stealers.
Yeah, and then so it ties into Schlub Dad's fantasy too, you know, where all of this stuff is real, you know, like the immigrants to your country are not, you know, they may be human, but they're criminals, and that's it, you know, like you said in the text, you know, their primary export is rape camps.
They're so organized, like this. Like,
Yeah,
they're like so good at just, you know, like extorting money and raping and heroin addicting girls. That's sort of just that's how they roll there. It's just a normal
yeah,
industry.
It's like cheese. Yeah,
exactly.
Fuck.
That's fucking terrible. Like anyway, but it's a nice job that they did on this whole movie. But I'm not sure.
I think so. Yeah, no, I think so. I think it's a good movie. I mean, I don't think it's like a great movie, but it's entertaining. Like it's kind of low rent action, but it sells it pretty well. I think the first half hour is very disarming, as you've said.
Yeah, especially since the top export from Albania is actually leather footwear.
Glad you looked that up.
They're also pretty big on apparel and clothing, crude oil, cement, construction materials, vegetables, and tobacco.
There you go.
Seems like an average little country.
Yeah, and I think I don't know what was going on in 2008 and why Tropoja, the city or region that is emphasized. You know, maybe that's like the shithole of Albania. Who knows? Yeah, but I think it's just because it's like it's east of Europe. You know, like and all that as far as Europeans are concerned. You know, like that's the east. That's you know, like. And I mean, traditionally, right?
Yeah, I know. You wouldn't go straight Russian with that, though. It's not.
It was a different time.
Why Albanians?
I think
because they're closer to Europe, maybe.
Yeah,
I suppose
like,
so.
Like it's like the Tom Clancy thing, right? Like he doesn't have like it's always like the Georgians or like I don't know. There's just kind of like the Russians. I think maybe just got kind of old. So it's
they
like,
can't all be Russians. Maybe they can be from Azerbaijan from time to time.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? Equal opportunity villainization of entire peoples.
Sure.
All the Soviet bloc states are fucking fair game now. So.
Liam did some pretty heavy duty executions here, like brutal executions.
Yeah.
Oh, and torture too. That was
not many people survived running with him, and if you did, you likely had like a collapsed trachea. Or
well, I think he killed that guy. Like there's that. So he's in the fancy like auction house, and the guy is carrying around the champagne, and he fucking kills that waiter to take his champagne. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, there's a couple people. Yeah. There's like a guy in a stairwell, like a security guard, that he just throat punched and let his head hit a metal door. Like that guy's not coming back from that.
No. I watched a kill count video. He kills 30 people in this movie. Seems like more.
Yeah, it seemed like, actually, you're right. It seemed like he killed a lot more, but
yeah.
But like, and some of them are like kind of grotesque, like leverage neck breaks and stuff. Like where you're kind of bent over a railing and he just pops the vertebrae in your neck. Like, Jesus, the fuck, man? Just gonna break a guy's brain stem like that?
I liked the torture scene. I thought that was well done because it's like, you know, you think the two spikes in the guy's legs were bad enough, and then it's just like, oh, let's put some clamps on those, and then he's like talking about the power grid and how great it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Yeah, that was awesome. I like the whole like conversation piece, just where he just talked to himself like an insane person. I don't know if it's like some kind of like back alley Tom Clancy psychological thing that you're supposed to do when you torture. We like talk about something completely offbeat to like derail the person you're torturing or whatever. I don't know, but everybody seems to do that in the movies, you know.
What did he talk about that was offbeat? Talked about
Well,
the
he just started
grid.
like, yeah. What does that have to fucking? I know that has to do with your torture device, but he's like more talking about how like, oh, you know, back in the old days we didn't know what was going to happen when we flicked the power.
I think it's actually a good way of, and it really, the movie should kind of focus on that more. Like it's kind of the Jack Bauer 24, you know, like valorization of torture that sort of happened post 9/11. But yeah, like he very matter of factly talks about like how he was working with other countries who would do acid dripping and like fingernail removal and shit like that. It's kind of like a Mark Millar thing, you know, just trying to have your character say something really fucking awful to signal to the audience, if no one else, that like, oh, okay, this is gonna go real bad.
This guy's the real deal.
Yeah. Guy's a fucking
bamboo shoots under the fingernails is an absolute classic, by the way.
Jesus.
Yeah. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. Wouldn't even try. Yeah. So, well, I like the way, getting back to the, like, that none of the action in this movie feels like inappropriate for Liam Neeson. He handles it pretty well, you know, like even knife disarmaments and stuff like that. Like he puts on a leather jacket to kind of look a little bigger, you know, but nothing requires him to be really strong. Like he's an older fella at this point.
No, it's a lot of grimy movements, like very good fight choreographing, like a lot of like hinge point attacks on like knees and ankles where he drops the guy down a level before he like starts fucking clobbering them, which would be on a guy about that size, like 6'4", like if he was capable of those kind of like movements and like joint manipulations and like fast strikes to like throat and eyes and shit. Like you'd be in hard trouble real fast, just like all these poor bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very well choreographed. Like you say, I feel like it was choreographed for his age and height, like in an appropriate way, which a lot of movies don't take there's a lot of finesse in that kind of action shooting where you're like cater to the person that's fighting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Why I was thinking that we would maybe look at Transporter after this, because it's the same director, and the guy has like he's kind of he's a cinematographer or whatever, so he's got like, I don't know, he's kind of worked just a bunch of different roles and stuff like that, and didn't just it's kind of a working man's director at this point. And I don't know.
Well, the Transporter too, though, Jason Statham's like he's bulkier, younger than Liam Neeson, and faster, so it's appropriate to speed up the fights for like just
you've seen Transporter. Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Not for a long time, and maybe I've seen portions of it, but I mean the fight scenes are very grimy, but they're like high paced, like with higher impact. And that's appropriate for somebody that's can move better, you know.
I think I'm watching the scene where Liam Neeson climbs under the bed where Kimmy was taken. And he's listening to the voice recording, and he's kind of like, he just looks like scared and disoriented and now angry under the bed. Like he can emote a lot of different things, and he's so quiet throughout the movie. He very, very rarely speaks. So it's just a lot of the camera looking at him, and like he's kind of perfect for that. A lesser movie, I can't believe I'm saying this, would just have a lot of exposition or whatever, and getting to Adam's comment about the campiness, and I think it's there, but it's most especially there whenever Liam Neeson is interacting with that French security guy, Jean-Claude or whatever his fucking name was. What was his name? I don't think I wrote it down. Probably Jean-Pierre or Jean-Claude.
Oh, that French piece of shit.
Yeah. He shot that dude's wife. That was fucking amazing.
Just a flash.
You know what?
I was like,
I forgot that happened, and I was completely fucking blindsided by that. Just turns the gun on Cap's wife. What an absolute beauty.
as like just after she was like, "Do you want any carrots, dark meat or white meat?" She's so fucking hospitable.
Yeah.
And
She's like, "Oh my god, our
like,
friend is here for dinner. The babies are in bed. Boom, there's your wife, buddy." Next one I put between her eyes.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
You got no bullets in your gun. You're a desk bitch now.
What's the fucking, please apologize to your wife for me is the last thing he says after he fucking knocks the dude out. Or before he knocks the dude out.
Yeah. I feel like it would have been more appropriate to shoot that guy in the kneecap, because I feel like that son of a bitch is going to come for you later, but whatever.
Well, I guess we'll see if he shows up in Taken 2. But I mean, I think he's going to get, I think this is going to get blown open, right? And the conspiracy revealed. Like, we don't see that. We just see him save little Kimmy. But, the wheels are in motion. This whole apparatus is going down.
Any reason the last random little dude that looked like Prince was like a fucking G.I. Joe knife fighter at the end?
Oh, yeah, the effeminate Arab. Yeah, or Persian, I guess. I don't know.
The Prince of Persia, fucking Aladdin. Takes his little knife out, and then all of a sudden he's got his kung fu skills are next level.
Yeah. I think
I thought his dad was the final boss.
I love that. That's what I was thinking too. The fucking fat fucking shake lying in his bed like Jabba the Hutt, just like bring me the girls.
Yeah,
that was nice.
That pure.
I was
just laying around.
Perfect. It was
nice
such a perfect
touch.
It was like that's
and then
the
you're
final
like,
destination for the women. Like that's good.
This is a dark end for Kimmy. Never mind the heroin rape camp. This is the final boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess he is the final boss, though. Like not the fat guy, because he just shoots him in the head. Like he's more like a skill testing final. He's just a final skill test at the end of the game rather than a final battle. Oh fuck! I'm watching that dude about to get hit by the car. He jumped.
Peter.
Poor Peter. He punches the shit out of Peter in that cab. That was fucking amazing.
He really does a number on him.
Just starts opening up the liver shots. Just feeding him shots in the small of the ribs. Peter was gonna cry.
Oh, absolutely. He was totally gonna give up. Oh man, what a great car smash. Great moments in car smashing history.
I like right after that happens when Liam Neeson's character kind of looks around at that like freeway ramp or whatever, and he's just kind of like, oh geez, like I caused this. Okay, back to it. And so like he has this like moment of like, oh what a mess, like shit. And then just like, all right, back with the mission. Like let's go. 96 hours.
Grabs a newspaper, folds himself back into the coffee shop, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what's happening. Yeah. And he meets I think this is when he first meets Jean-Claude, or again, we don't know his I didn't write down his name.
He's like, I thought we were friends, Jean-Claude.
Yeah. And this dialogue is so fucking painful, and like even between the two of them is just very like, okay, we know.
I like that we all still have fairly high praise for it, but it's an action movie. I mean,
what drew Liam Neeson to this though? Like I thought. Like I remember when this came out, this is one of the things that struck me, where it's like I thought he was like more of an actor, like a real actor. Like this seemed weird for him. I don't know. Did he have a history of doing these movies before?
No, he didn't. No.
Okay, that's what I thought. And it just seemed out of the blue, and then all of a sudden there was like 2 and 3 like sequels. To this? Like
he says that he didn't expect this to be anything more than a straight to DVD like kind of fun thing to do. But I don't know. I don't think that's genuine, because like he's working with Luc Besson, and that guy, like that guy's he's studio or anything. Like he just puts out movies, like, and it's not going to be straight to video. It's going to be something at the very least. But no one expected it to be a fucking, to key in on everybody's schlub dad fantasies in 2008 when Obama's coming to prominence or whatever. This is the dark underbelly it was there the whole time, waiting to be activated, taken. But now I was just saying, this is totally his role now, though. This is what he,
This is what he does. Like he became very niche after this, I find.
But this kind of like random sort of downtrodden, exhausted dude that has like some type of traumatic event, like turn him into like a brutal murderer is like it's a John Wick. It's a trend now, right? Like sort of, isn't it?
I think it's always been. It must have always been there.
Rambo, I guess, right?
Yeah, when you said this was like, I did think about immediately, like watching this, I was like, holy fuck, this is Rambo Last Blood. This is, I don't know. This is a type of movie, like it's a type of male fantasy movie, which I think I've already sort of enumerated the qualities of. But it was funny. It was just funny, like you can just replace with the Mexicans in Last Blood, like they weren't exporting their, it was all still within their territory, right?
That was a different angle on it.
Yeah,
like you were invading them right on their home turf, right?
Yeah, and so like you go play with fire and you get burned. Don't go looking for your dad in Mexico is I guess the moral of the story. And with this, it's a different sort of fantasy where, like, it's not that there's barbarians over there, it's that their barbarians are here. And it's very French as a consequence, like the fact that Luc Besson is behind this and sort of like spearheads all these ideas. It just plays into sort of the French imagination at the moment. And, clearly the American imagination as well, if you look at QAnon and stuff like that. But hey, Adam, have you ever seen The Gray or Gray? What's it called, James?
I'm pretty sure it's called The Gray.
The Gray. That's a Liam Neeson movie. Check that fucking movie out. That's like, you want action, Liam Neeson action movie without like the schlub dead fantasy. I think
it's called The Gray, 2011.
Yeah,
it sounds
very
familiar.
good.
I can kind of picture it.
Yeah, check her out. That's good stuff.
Just might after this. I'm kind of sold on Liam Neeson all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, no, he's very charming to watch. Like this movie doesn't work without him for a lot of reasons. I think that he's kind of like a Bruce Willis in the sense that like people like the schlub dad. Like Bruce Willis as an action movie seems highly improbable as well. But then, just fucking let him loose and he'll kick off the franchise.
Fucking works.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is quite a franchise, but like, so what's
it's a TV show?
But what's the difference between this and like just like having John Wick's dog get stomped to death to activate his powers?
This is less. This is more. It has they're both fantasies, right? So what's the distinction between the fantasies? The distinction between the fantasies is that John Wick is a supervillain, right? And he goes into a world of supervillains and has a supervillain fight off. It's like it's
yeah. What about like
absolutely
Rambo?
Unconnected to anything real.
What about like Rambo 1, where his powers are activated by his own oppressive police state, I guess, and homelessness? That's also very different, I guess.
Yeah, because it doesn't have like there's no threat to his family in that movie. And
is this like a low grade fridging? Would you call it that?
I think it's a different type. There must be another metaphor for it, because like Kimmy isn't killed, but she's family is threatened. It's in the fucking.
It's in the vein, but it's almost like cheapened that nothing happened to her. Like,
well, I wouldn't say nothing happened to her.
It sort of comes across that way.
Compared to like the other girls that you're seeing in the movie, like leading up to her, when you see her being auctioned off.
Yeah, like her friend. Whoa.
Yeah.
That was
dead
rough.
in her own vomit. Yeah. But but the thing is, she was a whore, right? Like that's the kind of movie this is as well. Like they make a point when she gets into it's
I'm
like a horror
sleep with
movie.
Peter. He's hot.
Yeah. And so it has like horror tropes in it, and it engages with that sort of cinema as well.
Like a Michael Myers thing. It's like, good night, slut.
Yeah, because like Kim, she's just my Kimmy's 17, she's still Kimmy, and she wants to be a singer, and she's still very innocent, and she hasn't.
Gets
But
a
her
fucking
friend is
pony
wild.
for her birthday. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's still a little princess, and so she survives. Even though the Albanians came for her because she's so virtuous, because she's so pure, she manages to get away just with a little minor heroin addiction, which is just sort of skated over, and that's fine. Maybe it was just pills, right? We don't know it was heroin. There's
Hard
lots of
to
ways
say.
to drug. There's lots of ways to drug a person. So
I was going to talk about the PG rating again too. I think this was a purely technical PG rating that they were able to glaze over grotesque events and also have their executions happen fast and not graphically.
yeah, because I'm looking at that girl in the camp right now, and she's beckoning him in. She's all sweaty and fucking injection mark. But no woman
yeah, but it's not.
Yeah.
No woman's actually assaulted on camera, and everybody's covered in sheets and fully clothed. The needle marks are shown, but I can't even. I don't think there's a needle shown in that same scene. So it's it's a very they're playing games with the rating system. This is purely interpretive little tricks and things.
That's funny. Yeah, I'll take back the comment about no women being sexually assaulted. I just saw it twice, but
okay, yeah, my bad.
Yeah. It happens so fast. It's just and
yeah, but it's but then again, that's probably that's a box office move right there.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to get something this violent under the wire for little 14-year-old guys to go watch Liam Neeson kill people and stuff. Great date movie.
It's a French movie too. It's grimy like a French movie. It's grimy like a European movie, which is fair because that's where it's coming from and that's where it's being filmed. The only interviews I could find about this movie from the time are all in French. The making of documentary that's on YouTube, it's French. Although Liam Neeson speaks English for obvious reasons. It's just got a grimy lighting, and there's a griminess
to it for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a different mentality. I mean, Europeans have always been sexually advanced, right? We know that. And this movie, don't be a prude. That's what they say. They know the truth. That's right. They're well, we know about the Albanians. This is just a depiction of what's going on in our assaulted country. Yeah. But even as I say that though, not even as in defense of me saying this, him driving around in that quarry, with all the fake explosions and all the cars are so shitty. That's another thing about this movie.
Yeah, it's old Jeeps and shit.
Yeah, there's fucking shit cars all around, Probably very normal in Europe, but they just don't look American in any respect. Like a James Bond movie, even though he'll be in Barcelona or something like that, he's driving around in some sort of really high luxury vehicle, and this guy's just took a vehicle that he stole and it fucking sucks. But he's still
those are Albanian cars, man.
Are they all made in Albany?
No, those are that's. I thought this was what little shitty French cars look like.
That's actually funny because
taxis,
there are nicer cars in the city. When he's stealing those cars, I seem to remember. I thought there was some sort of luxury car he's driving in the city itself, but in the quarry it was
after he kills that driver. Yeah.
The old fucking the '86 Jeep.
Yeah, the old Jeep, and it's just just shit cars in the quarry. But that's
that was a great car chase.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there's actually a few good car chases in this, and it's I found the way it ends. Yeah, they're well filmed too, and it's the camera shaking, the clicking of the stick shift and all that. It was well done.
Yeah. I wouldn't fault this movie for being I can't fault this movie as an action movie, except for the fact that the first I didn't really honestly need 28 minutes of this movie, like in the beginning, like the schlub dad sales pitch. It didn't need to be that.
I think, but it establishes Kimmy, guys. You know, you got to have a reason to get
As
on
a
board.
selfish little girl, you know, like it made me hate her actually, and so you like that.
Yeah, but it makes you love Liam Neeson.
It doesn't. I don't think it actually did. It made me bored. Like I knew what was coming, and so I was okay with it. But then I was just kind of watching him be kind of pathetic, and I was like, "Fuck, he's pathetic." And
the whole thing with like that singer, I felt was like really unnecessary. Like it just kind of like yeah, you know, we got this gig tomorrow. We're gonna do security for this, like and then like he does the security, and then like, you know, oh, my daughter wants to be a singer, and there's this whole like kind of little backstory, and then he like disarms like that guy that's gonna stab her. I just like I kind of agree. Like I could have done without that. Like I knew what this movie was about going into it. Like, you know, I would haven't seen a trailer for like 13 years. I didn't need to know that he was like some dangerous fucking weapon of a human being. Like I knew that. I didn't need like a little, here's a scene to tell you what he's all about. Like, I'm gonna learn this soon enough, and I'll buy into it. Like, I'm not here for the story.
Yeah, well, once he tells us, I have a certain set of skills, you know, you're just like, okay, no one would talk like this, but I love it. So you just keep talking about it.
I like that she's like Britney Spears, but there's a guy that's trying to like fucking shank her. That's not
Someone left the gate open. Ah.
Yeah, who left that? Yeah.
Her fans are coming to kill her. What? Like, the fuck?
Yeah, it's a coordinated attack or something. You're like, I guess he left the gate open in order to distract, so that way he could stab her with his like his hooked knife. You're like, this guy's a fucking criminal genius, and we never even see his face. Probably Albanian.
He just
guess where she was going.
He gets fucked by Liam Neeson anyway.
Yeah. But she becomes a pony, right? Like what is the purpose of that scene is so that Liam Neeson acquires a pony that he can give to his daughter at the end of the movie after he's saved her from sex slavery.
Correct.
And that's it. You know, just like Schlub Dad made connections with the rich woman.
The embarrassing, pathetic scene at the beginning where he was like, "But my little Kimmy wants to be a singer." Schlub Dad was right. Again.
He's right about all that stuff.
He's right about everything from the beginning, everything in the middle, everything in the end. Did his wife divorce him and leave him for a rich guy? Yes. Is he pathetic and broken down piece of shit? No, man, because he's right about everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, but like what this movie sort of sells is like, and so are you. You know, and I think that's the insidious and that's the insidious part about it. It's just like well, like when you first described it, it's like it's a particular type of male fantasy. It's like the downtrodden white male, estranged from your family fantasy, you know. And I don't know, and it's not that that's the vast majority of individuals in North America. I hope not. But yeah, there's just something perennial about that. And I don't know what tradition to put this movie in, but like we definitely could find something. You know, like where this type of hero exists. Maybe this is the first time anyone put action to it. No, that's a naive statement.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the Michael Douglas movie we watched like about a year ago. What was it called?
Oh, fucking Falling Down.
Falling Down. Kind of same idea, right? Like strange dad, all that sort of stuff. Kind of goes down a much different path, though.
Well, he is connected to the security apparatus too, but yeah, it's different. Like, it's in that vein. Yeah. It's a type of story that we tell, like sort of post Cold War. Yeah, but I don't know enough about it. I bet like Tom Clancy probably has something to do with it too. We've never read. At least I've never read any of those books. Who knows what those fucking guys' relationship with their family is? It's probably a little fancier than that, though.
Tom Clancy stuff's all fake, though, isn't it? Isn't that the whole gag?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's all. I'm pretty sure it's all fake. You know, like I'm not.
It's just like who can trick you into thinking they actually know something about actual special forces or whatever, right?
Yeah. It's your typical jar writer trick. Like they surround themselves in this sort of lingo and jar jar trapping. Sorry. This guy probably read that Leclerc guy a bunch of times. Whatever the fancy or low grade, international espionage books are. Right,
that's why the old good classics feel so right. Like The Predator or Aliens, send the fucking guys to boot camp for a bit.
What it would,
makes the scenes feel real.
Right. What does that have to? Should they have sent Liam Neeson to boot camp?
No, I'm just saying he did a good job selling it.
Right.
But I mean, like, everyone has their little tricks, for whether it's little research or whatever. But
I see what you're saying. I'm sorry.
I think his was the fight choreographing, really, which sold me that somebody knew something about special forces in this movie. Whatever.
Yeah, it's nice dancing. Yeah, that's what I was. Thank you. Because within my martial art, like I was like, I recognize some of those things. I see what they're doing, and but it's definitely choreographed, in a way with a particular type of like aesthetic, like that, like special forces aesthetic. It's not roundhouses. It's he's not athletic in any respect. He's just fucking grimy. And like you said, James, like he's just attacking joints and smashing faces and throats. And
felt a little Aikido in there, maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think he never flips a human body. I don't know. I guess it depends. I don't know enough about it.
Didn't he?
I don't think so.
I thought he did a couple wrist moves.
No. There's no wrist moves. I'm like, if there's any room for that, it's going to be in. He works with a lot of shoulders and necks and spine rotations and stuff like that. It's very big. Yeah, he never breaks anyone's finger or anything like that, or even like grabs anyone's wrist. Or I'm about to see him fight the Albanians in that kitchen. We'll see whether or not anything pops up, but I really don't recall.
That was a pretty good scene too. I like that. Just like, and you guys named Marco from whatever, and they're like, yeah, we're all Marco.
You're going to be like that. Your arrogance offends me, and for that, the rate just went up 10%.
Excellent.
I do like where the storyline went with that dictionary. And he's like, oh, my Albanian friend wrote this. What does it say?
Yeah.
And he's like, good luck. And he's like, you don't remember me.
Yeah.
We talked a few days ago.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that's when. And I like how he like goes. He's completely unarmed, and there's like a fucking room full of 8 guys. And he's comfortable just like just fucking starting that fire.
Well, I'm watching him walk into the room, and the camera does a really good job of showing him looking at the room and counting everyone and watching everyone as he goes in. And we watch him memorize everyone in the building, and so that way, but it's all sort of subconscious. It prepares us, but it doesn't prepare us in the way that an American movie would. Which is another thing I like about this movie is it's just like it doesn't hold your hand, and I hate the times when it holds my hand. And one of the interactions I was reading about the relationship between like sort of the Besson and the other Karate Kid dude. Besson's like, we don't need to explain things, and the other guy's, we have to explain things, and you kind of feel that the tug of war is happening. Yeah. I push one button and 30 agents will be here before you have time to scratch your worthless balls. Now stop jerking around before I close you down for wasting my time. That's like
phenomenal.
Worthless balls. I was like, that's such a. And again, getting back to the PG. What's the rating on this thing? PG-13. Like,
yeah.
No one swears. There's no fuck. There's no pussy. There's no like. It's so fucking. It's like an episode of Seinfeld where it's constantly about sex and constantly the dirtiest thing anybody could talk about, but it's just in code.
It's right on that line. Like it's just like it's perfect.
Yeah. Well balanced. Balanced enough for Disney app. That blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, I know, me too. When I was trying to find out where to like watch it, I was like Disney Plus. I was like, no shit.
Oh man, I know. I've downloaded that baby straight to my phone from Disney Plus. Thank you, Disney.
Thank you, Disney. Is Taken
giving me
2 and 3 on there, or I'm curious because I like
full trilogy.
Oh, fucking right.
I'm curious now. So I went on Rotten Tomatoes to see what like the ratings were for 2 and 3, and it's like, I don't know, respectively, like maybe 20 and 10%. It was just like, God, it really takes a dump. Like, and then I read the synopsis, like the summary.
No, it's gonna be good. It's more Albanians, and they take his wife, I think, next.
I heard, and Kimmy helps. So I mean, fuck, that's great.
Same, but again, it's Luc Besson and oh fuck, I keep saying Luc Besson. Who's this other fucking guy? It's Robert Mark Kamen. It's the same writers, and like the director changes, and so I think we're just gonna see a decline in like this movie's fucking trash. Like I think that's fair to say, but on the other hand, like it's a special trash, and it's a good trash. And so it makes sense that the other movies should be sort of trash.
It's throwback. It's kind of throwback. It's almost like an old fucking kung fu revenge movie. It's like a shitty Charles Bronson movie or something.
Yeah, well, it definitely belongs in that.
Good. I don't know. It's an oddball. It's like Dirty Harry or something. It's like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah. Well, it definitely belongs in that category, like that. Although I've never seen any of the Dirty Harry movies, I understand I understand what they are, though. Like fucking, we're gonna take it to the streets and kill these scum. Like kind of Taxi Driver shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this exists in that realm for sure. Like this is definitely in that genealogy.
Everybody likes to see pieces of shit get blown away.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. Yeah. So how many pieces of shit getting blown away would you give this out of 10?
I'll go first. I'm gonna give it 8.
Whoa!
Oh, so many pieces of shit.
God
so
damn!
Pieces of shit. Like I said,
I like that rating.
I was fucking entertained by this thing. I think because of it's just
this.
like that mindlessness to it. It's just like, don't fucking question the storyline. Don't try to fill the gaps. Just watch the dance. It's just like fucking Dancing with the Stars for like people like me.
That's perfect.
That's a T-shirt, man. That's a T-shirt for this movie.
I'm gonna go. You know what? I think it outshot my expectations too. There's a lot of things that we talked about just on this little podcast that could have made this movie like a fucking 5 out of 10 just shit experience. But there was there was enough things that like added to the generic action revenge fantasy to make it like a good 7.5 fucking shot in the face Albans.
Yeah, he just got stabbed in the leg. I like this movie. I like this movie a lot. Like, if I can give it a 7.5, I'd like to give it a 7.5. I'd recommend this movie to people. You guys want to watch a fun movie? Fucking watch Taken. And if you also want to look into the, like the fucking dark future, yeah, you can do that too. You can see QAnon being formed and all that sort of thing. You can see why this made a bunch of money worldwide, and spawned a franchise, because there's a need for stuff like this amongst individuals. And so it's got two things to. It's both artful and I don't know, sociologically interesting, I guess. So yeah, that's good stuff. If we could do the franchise, I'd be super happy.
I'm ready.
I'd like
man.
that.
Yeah,
I'd like
that
that
franchise.
I'd like that a lot.
I'm ready for Taken 2.
Yeah, no, and I remember, like, I feel that I've watched the third movie, and I just feel like I remember it getting more and more like Saw, like more gross.
There's only one direction to go here, really.
Yeah. So I just I
do you guys
really
notice
watch.
Do you guys notice if Forrest Whitaker's in the third one?
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, fuck off! Really?
God damn! Now
I'm
ready. Well, I didn't. I passed right over the third one. I didn't watch it at all. I don't believe.
That's fair.
The second one, I just I don't know. I'm sure I watched it just walking by a TV or something at some point.
At some point. It does feel like something it would be, yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. I'm glad we have a new mission, new purpose. That's good. So I don't know. Until then, a special set of skills. Fucking
yeah.
Good luck. Yeah, there we go. Good luck.
100,000.
I said I heard what you said. Buy her.
I have 100.
Buy her.
150. 200. 250. 350. 350,000. 4. 450. 450. 450,000. 450. 500. 500,000. 500,000. Sold. That concludes the sales for tonight. Thank you all for coming. You can collect your purchases directly.
Move.